I'm Sid, and these are my best friends. My mom, Kim, my dad, Ty, my sister, Maddie, and our salty dog, Stella. We started our adventure refitting a Lagoon 450 before taking on the massive project of resurrecting a sunken 2021 Leopard 50. It's been one heck of a ride, but we're on this adventure to die with memories, not dreams, and live dauntless.
All right, everybody. I'm standing here on top of the boat, officially in the middle of the Atlantic. We're halfway between the US and Europe. And yeah, it looks just like yesterday though. A whole lot of water. But it is a cool milestone to be at, and I'm happy to share it with you. So welcome to the middle of the Atlantic, guys. Looks like a lot of water, and we have some big seas today with some 8+ footers in there, here and there, and it's pretty exciting. You would think that a 110-foot boat that weighs 600,000 pounds would be like a tanker through the water, but I assure you, it is not. So it's exciting, but it's been a bit challenging. Most of the crew's doing well. A little bit of seasickness, but overall I think everyone's in pretty good spirits. And I'll catch you in Horta. We're gonna be there in a couple days, and unless something exciting happens, I'll see you then. I know that tune.
Maybe I
Of course, but who did it? Right?
Good morning again, guys. Sorry about the wind noise. We're about 18 hours out from Horta, and the seas have completely laid down dead flat. And I think they're 1 to 2 foot maybe. And look at that gorgeous sunrise. Isn't that beautiful? All right, I'll meet up with you guys on Horta.
Falal is the westernmost island of the Azorean archipelago. The main port town of Horta is where we're headed. Horta has been a transatlantic waypoint since the 1700s, and the sailors that brave the journey here have a tradition of leaving their mark on the breakwater as a record of their journey. With a towering height of 7,700 feet at its highest, Fayal is a dormant shell volcano island that is now covered in a lush green blanket. Overlooking the crater with its own weather pattern is absolutely breathtaking. The lighthouse was in operation from 1903 until September of 1957, when an eruption started to grow out of the ocean just off the coast. The eruption continued for 13 months, creating this Mars-like landscape with a new peak on the island that reaches almost 1/3 of a mile above sea level. It also buried the lighthouse in a destructive pile of ash.
So these guys put these baggies full of water over the drain holes. Down here. And then all of this. So what that does is, sorry about the noise. So what that does is, in case there's a fuel spill, one, they don't want to get it all over the deck, and two, if it makes it into the scuppers, it's not going to drain down into the water. So they're just protecting all the space around. They take extra precautions. In fact, they even zip tie all the cam locks together so that they don't accidentally pop open or somebody bumps it. So they're taking every precaution, including the fire extinguisher to make sure that everybody's safe. So it's a cool process. They get up to speed here. They're taking about 60 gallons a minute at a nice steady pace to fill the boat up. And I think we're gonna be taking on about 21 to 22,000 liters of fuel to top the boat off before we run into Gibraltar. It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Captain Dave has made some friends with local fishermen here on the commercial dock, and they've brought us a massive 22 kilo yellowfin tuna that we need to figure out how to break down and process.
Yeah, you can cut it.
And
You cut it?
Yeah.
Can you cut it? Yeah, we'll cut it.
it's just too big.
No,
No, we got-
once
we
it
got-
breaks down, that'll be plenty.
Is this,
For all of you is
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good.
yeah,
so,
appreciate it.
do you know how to do this, right, Ty?
No, I have no idea.
Especially this, but
So you decided to go longitudinal.
another back to the
How's that, Ty? Better?
I think it's great. Okay, so we are here in Horta, and we got a dockage on the commercial dock, which would normally be where we would go, but because we're big, that's where we got to go. And they told us we might have to move, and then we would and wouldn't, but it looks like because we got delayed because of weather, we got an extra couple days here. So I've been asked to come out on deck and help handle some lines, because we have to move behind this beautiful schooner that's over here to make space for a much bigger boat. So here we go. All right, the engineers have tasked me with some jobs that I've been deemed appropriate for. So I'm trying to help take the load off of some of the non-critical stuff, but stuff that just still needs to get done before we get underway, and we're gonna be, you know, out in the ocean and water everywhere. And one of those is replacing this, or sealing up where the sprayer, like for your shower, came loose and it broke off on the trip over, and they're noticing some water that's ingressing behind the mixer plate, which is the thing in your shower that you adjust the water pressure and temperature with. And so what I'm going to do is I've taken all this apart, and I'm going to get back in here, blow it all out with air, and get it nice and dry. And then I'm going to seal it with butyl around the opening, and then I'm going to put a little bit of caulking right in here just to temporarily hold that until they get to Europe. And we can drill that out, get a new shower head and a new mount, and put new stuff in. So that's what I'm doing. All right, guys, so butyl tape is great for sealing any topside deck hardware. It provides a gasket that never hardens and is extremely resistant to water and temperature fluctuations and what have you. And it's just like ticky-tack when you were a kid in grade school. If you were lucky enough to have ticky-tack, the yellow stuff you put on the walls to hold up your artwork you're so proud of. It's kind of the same thing, and it comes in a tape. You can squish it like clay and then mold it and push it in around fittings, or you can put it under deck hardware, and then as you tighten the deck hardware, the excess squeezes out, just like I did upstairs on those deck hatches. We use the same thing. I'm gonna take this full thickness. I don't need it that thick because I'm gonna bend it in half, which is going to double the thickness again. And I'm just going to slowly take this and stretch it to thin it out. This is where your grade school silly putty skills come in. An interesting thing about Dauntless is that when it's cold, it's very, very stiff, and so you want to let it warm up, and as you bed hardware, you want to slowly tighten it, allow the friction to warm it up and the excess to squeeze out, and you can slowly work and bed that hardware in where you get a nice mechanical bond and a good seal, but you're not going to have any spongy gap from the actual butyl itself. It'll slowly work its way out, and it's way easier to clean up than Sikaflex or things like that. Alright guys, so I'm just going to take this, fold it over on itself, and I'm packing it down in the gap. So we have a watertight seal from here to the wall. Alright guys, now this right here, these holes here, I'm just going to pack full of butyl. I'm going to put some tape over top of it because they're going to take this apart here in less than a week and redo it all. And I just need a little tiny bit.
We've developed a bit of a leak in the raw water cooling pump for the engines. In true boat fashion, it's down under the floor, in a tight spot, and very difficult to get to.
Alright, the O-ring seems to be the culprit. Let's put it up on the bench and see what it looks like and see if we have any poorly mated surfaces that are causing this to leak. I'll also see if we've got another one of these somewhere.
Unfortunately, we didn't have a replacement O-ring, but the guy showed me this cool new O-ring maker kit.
All right, mostly the guys, and with a little bit of my help, got a whole bunch of projects done, from cleaning sea strainers to rebuilding pumps to exhaust hangers and all kinds of stuff. So I think it was a pretty productive day. It is currently about 8:15 local time, and I think we're just gonna knock off and see if we can. These guys are going to town because I've already been, but they've been stuck on the boat the whole time we've been in port so far. So maybe we'll go in, have a burger, grab a beer or something, and take it easy after a long, hard, but successful day. See you guys tomorrow.
This is Captain Steve and his lovely wife Amy. Amy is crazy, but she's tough. She thought this looked like a great day for swimming. I don't think that's a great day for swimming, and from his expression, I don't think he thought it was either.
Cheers.
What?
Cheers.
Cheers!
So I'm sitting in here editing video, and this is a big boat. She weighs almost 600,000 pounds, and I'm plugged in, and the boat's kind of moving around, getting sucked on and off the dock, and I feel this jarring motion. So 600,000 pounds went like this, and so I take my AirPods out and I throw them and I run outside, and this dock line that's every bit of 1.5 inches just from the stretching and working around the bulwark just completely snapped. This is of course why we're doubling lines, but it was an intense break, and a catamaran came in right behind us, and they're in the process of docking when this happened, and I think it scared the shit out of them because the line, not only did it pop, but it threw the other end of the line 15 feet from the boat and draped it over our breast line. So it must have been a very loud, very exciting thing to see from outside. But we have put an extra dock line on and adjusted the fenders, and it is what it is. Everyone's getting tossed around in this anchorage and on this seawall, so you can only do what you can do, and obviously dock lines are consumable products. It is 6:30 a.m. on Friday morning, and the weather has cleared. So you know what that means. When the weather gets nice, it's time to leave when you're making passage. So the engines have been started, the crew is up and bustling around, and I think here in under 30 minutes we're going to be casting the lines and on our way to Gibraltar. So here we go.